need to admit someone into the class. Welcome to our practice today. We'll be working a lot on our neck, our shoulders, our throat, and a lovely treat at the end with Sharon. So let's find our way into our easy seat. Maybe you've got yourself positioned on a bolster. Maybe a block or two nearby if that's something you want to use for your practice. I really do recommend those for you. You can get blocks at the dollar store. Well, not right now because I don't think blocks are essential to everybody except for us yogis. So like I showed you in the beginning, if you would like to today, we'll settle into that stacking of the spine, one vertebra on top of the other, and then our throat chakra mudra. So we interlace these three fingers here. Then you can rest your index fingers on each other. And then the thumbs will come together at the top. Some folks will press the pads of the fingers together as well. It's really totally up to you. We'll feel the breath. So relaxing into our bodies, relaxing our shoulders, and maybe for today, bringing that awareness to our throat. Welcome, welcome. We're just doing our throat chakra mudra. So we've got those fingers interlaced, index fingers on top of each other, thumbs touching one another, and we're relaxing into our easy seated position with our throat chakra mudra today. So wonderful. I love to have classes with purpose and special guests. So if anyone likes to share things, please just send me a little message. I'm more than happy to work together. Let's close those eyes and breathe. Some affirmations today throughout our practice, and I will say these over and over again. I speak my truth freely and openly. I speak my truth freely and openly. I alone am accountable for expressing myself clearly. I alone am accountable for expressing myself clearly. My honesty attracts what I deserve. Relaxing those shoulders down, continuing to breathe, anchoring down into our sit bones. Closing our eyes. Today we will do a bumblebee breath. If you've never done it before, no big deal. It's more like just making a humming sound with your exhale. But some ways to bring that awareness within are to take your index fingers, so they go on your eyelids really gently, your thumbs go and they plug your ears. Your middle finger will come kind of underneath your eye. The ring fingers go to the outside of the nose, and maybe the pinky finger comes around the top lip. And again, totally optional. You don't have to do that. You could have your hands wherever you want them. So as we breathe in through the nose, we're making a little humming sound in our exhale, but keeping our mouth closed. Turn my music is a little distracting for me. So you can try that maybe for about 10 rounds of breath. If it feels like too much going on with all of your fingers, then take index and middle finger on your eyelids and just plug your ears. Breathing in. Feel the vibrations within your body.
Denise, are you making the sound intentionally, or is it just the sound that your exhalation makes inside?
We're intentionally making that sound. And
okay.
Plug your ears and your eyes, and you can really feel the vibrations in your head and within your body.
Okay.
like a hum or ham sound. Do a couple more. Imagine if we were all together, what a cool sound that would make, like a little hive of friends. All right, so we found that inner wisdom today. We focused a little bit on the throat and how that felt within. And let's start our warm up. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing our hands down to our side. So we're seated warm up. Inhale, reaching, exhaling down. Speaking our truth today freely. One more up, and we'll start our twists over to one side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twisting over to the other. If it feels okay for you today, closing your eyes and breathing. Maybe next week we'll do another breath technique. Ujjayi breath is pretty cool. A lot of people do that during practice. Couple more. On this next one, we'll start our lateral flexion. We reach up and then we hinge over to one side. Inhale, reach, exhale, hinge to the other side. While we do this little hinge, we are still anchoring down into our sit bones. Nice and strong. All right, let's bring our hands back behind us and look up today, opening up our throat. And hinging forward, hands come towards the heart or in front of us. We'll bring our hands back behind us, open up into chest expansion, and if it feels okay for your neck, looking gently up. A couple more, moving forward. Opening up, lengthening that spine as we come up, maybe looking up if it feels okay for your neck. Last one here, and then we'll be putting this easy warm up all together. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands come to our sides. Inhale, reaching back up, twisting over to our right. Inhale up, twisting over to your left. Inhale, reach, bending over to one side. Back up on a breath in. Hands go over to the other side. Now your hands come back behind you. Inhale, chest expansion. Exhale, tip forward. We'll reach it all the way back up again. Hands come to our sides. Last time through, inhale, reach, twisting over to your right. Up, twisting over to your left. Reaching, bending over to one side. Feel the length. Reach again, over to the other side. Hands come back behind us on your breath in. We open up and hinge forward. We'll come all the way back up. Inhale and bring our hands back into our throat mudra. Tuck those 3 fingers in so that the fingers are inside the hands. Rest our index fingers on top of each other. Thumbs come together. And you can rest peacefully on your thighs. So whenever you want to during your practice today, you can find that mudra and you can use it throughout the day as well. Let's move on. Bring our feet out nice and wide. And our hands back behind us. Let's open up and look up at the sky. Just finding some breath here, breathing. Make sure that you're listening to the body. If the neck is not feeling good, just tuck it onto your chest. We'll bring our chin up first and make our way to all fours for our cat and our cow. For today's cat and cow, let's focus on the shoulders. So we're still going to be moving our whole spine, but we're really focusing on the shoulders, drawing apart, and then coming, chest opening, and maybe the chin lifting. Exhaling, tucking. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. With our awareness on maybe our neck, our chest, and our shoulders. Breathing freely, separating our fingers. letting go of your morning. Last one. Right into our spinal balance. We'll be reaching our right arm forward, left foot back. Feel the length in our back as we actively reach, and then exhale down to all fours. Inhale, reaching. Feel the length. Exhale, bring it down. Side to side, reaching and down. So we've got a nice strong core here. Reaffirming ourselves throughout our class today. I alone am accountable for expressing myself clearly. And I know for me that, and maybe for you, that could be a challenge, something to work on. One more. On either side. Amazing job. Let's take it back to child's pose. So with some space between your knees if you'd like to, or you're resting your torso right on your legs, resting our back, reaching our hands long, unless that doesn't feel nice. And then you would be bringing your hands closer into your body. We'll be moving through our child's pose. Just let me let Heather in here. I promise I'll figure out some side today. Through our child's pose into striking cobra. So from child's pose, we go right into striking cobra. Arms are relatively straight. And we're either looking forward, or if your neck feels okay today, look up just a little. Lift the hips, slide it back to child's pose. Exhale. Back right into your striking cobra. So you take a big breath in. And exhale to child's pose. Striking cobra. A few more. You can take a little cat back into it if you wanted to really create a little wave throughout your back as you move through. A few more times. Opening up across our chest when we come into our cobra pose, so really shining that heart through. Last one. Amazing. Let's bring our hands together and take them back behind our neck. Give our neck a little massage here. See how your neck is feeling today. And breathe. Fingertips will come forward again. We'll look up at our hands and make our way to a half series. Inhale forward. Exhale, hold or lower to the belly. Up dog or cobra. Either back to your belly. If you'd like to go into downward dog right now, you can, but it's totally up to you. One more time. Inhale forward. Hold or flow to the floor. Cobra or up dog. Either back to down dog or you'll meet me in child's pose. Wonderful job. Looking up at our hands, let's bring our right foot up between the hands. Hands come back behind us. Chest expansion, opening up across the chest. Maybe looking up if that feels okay for your neck. So you don't have to look right up at the ceiling. Maybe you're just looking to where the wall and the ceiling meet, or higher up on your wall. We'll frame our front foot, sweep that one back, and take the other one forward. And inhale, chest expansion with that optional gaze up. Shining forward and forward folding, making sure to tuck on that back toe, forward fold. Halfway up into our monkey pose, breathing in, folding, breathing out. Let's flow through a few times. We've got a soft bend in our knees as we warm up through the backs of our legs. A few more. I love that we're doing something today with the help of Sharon for our chakras. I have to admit, I'm much more of an anatomy geek for yoga than chakras. So this is something that is wonderful for us all to learn. Let's inhale, reach up. And we'll grab a hold of that right hand, hinging over to one side, stretching our wrist here, while we're still pressing down into that right foot. Ooh, we got our puppy friend. Back up, other side. and release. Let's flow through flying bird. Taking our left foot back, we open. If you want to, look up. Exhale, either stepping to chair or stepping to mountain pose. Whichever one feels better for your legs. We've got our back heel high. Unless that feels unsteady, then drop that heel down for a little more support. If you're taking care of your knees, you have a short stance, open. If you would like to make it more challenging, more sensation, you step way back, eyes closed, open the wings, step forward to chair. Last one. On that last one, stepping your right foot back, or whichever one you want to, moving into our moonflower flow. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinging back. Let's warm up our hips, our amazing hips. My honesty attracts what I deserve. My honesty. A few more. You can turn this into your sunflowers now, hinging forward. Imagine picking some flowers and reaching them up. What flowers are in season right now? Pansies are starting. I've been seeing those ones out in the world. I do believe garden centers are still open. Yay. A couple more. Amazing job. We will step back up towards the tops of our mats. Inhale, sweep up, and flow through airplane. All the way up, and then hinging. Think of, again, lengthening the neck. That's where our awareness is shifting to today, the neck, the throat, as we lengthen our cervical spine. They're small and delicate. Let's take care of them. A few more. We'll be reaching all the way up, inhaling, exhale, bringing our hands back behind us. Chest expansion, if you'd like today, with a look up. So we're drawing our hands down our body and perhaps lengthening that spine. And it's a gentle bend through the neck. Shining the heart forward. Breathing feels amazing. So good. Let's release those hands, bring them in front of us, tuck our thumbs, do some wrist rotations. We'll turn these joints one way and then the other. And then also our feet. So if you need your arms to go out, you can. We'll bring our foot forward. Let's do some point and flex. And then open and close. So it's more of a flexed foot, open, whoo, and close. Feel how that rotation is doing in your hip. How's your hip doing today? Without judgment, just notice. Other side, let's point and flex. And then our open and close. We'll go through a couple rounds of sun salutations. I actually wanted to do, it's a water salutation, if I can remember how to do it. It's very similar to our regular sun salutation. It actually is more like half of a sun salutation. There's no half series. So we're coming up to the tops of our mats into our regular mountain pose. And then hinging into forward fold, exhaling. Stepping our right foot back, knee down, crescent lunge. So that palms come together if you want to, right up into our crescent lunge. And then to downward facing dog or child's pose, right there. Into our striking cobra. Remember that striking cobra we went into, or you could be doing up dog here. Right back to downward facing dog. Taking left foot up between the hands, back knee goes down, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Sweeping all the way up, breathe in. And mountain pose, breathe out. We'll do it again. Inhale, reach. Forward fold, breathe out. Stepping the right foot back, knee down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. Inhaling right into your striking cobra or up dog. And then back to down dog. Bringing the left foot up between the hands, back knee down, rising up into your crescent lunge. So you lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Bending that back in a few different directions. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, mountain pose. We'll do one more on each side. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive it right down. Stepping your right foot back, knee down, crescent lunge. And then to downward dog or child's pose. Inhale into your striking cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward dog or child's pose. Bringing the left foot up between the hands. Our crescent lunge. And then forward folding. All the way up. Mountain pose. So we've got one more. I think I did the same leg there a couple times. Inhale, reach up, forward fold. Step your left foot back. Knee goes down, crescent lunge. Yes, I did. This hip is a little tighter than the other. Back to child's pose or down dog. Inhale into your striking cobra or up dog. Back to down dog or child's pose. Looking up between the hands. That right foot comes up between them. We'll inhale to our crescent lunge. Exhale to forward fold. All the way up, breathe in. Exhale into our mountain pose. Amazing job. Feel the strength of our mountain pose. We'll adjust our clothes if we need to. And move on with our standing balance and strength before we head down onto the mat. So throughout this, focusing on lengthening that neck. Let's step our right foot back today. Back heel's going down. Warrior one. So bending the left knee and we're reaching our arms either up or keeping our hands at our heart. Breathe. Relaxing our shoulders, holding on to this amazing warrior one. If you'd like to today, our hands come back behind us and we open up chest expansion and maybe that slight chin lift or a little bit of a lengthening through our necks. Breathe. Wonderful. We'll reach our arms back up and make our way into warrior two. So that left arm's going forward. If your left knee is bending, we're pressing into that, both feet, reaching the fingertips. Now let's look at our front hands, turn the palm up. Imagine a little feather on the fingers, or a little bird. We'll turn the palm down and now take our gaze down our backhand. Turn that palm up. Again, feel the active reach through the fingertips. Breathing. We'll turn the palm down. Bring our chin back to our regular neck for warrior two. Straightening out our left leg, opening up the palms. We'll reach that left arm forward. So we open up the body and hinge down into triangle. Maybe you've got a block there as we work towards our triangle pose. And for today's practice, you can keep your neck in line or chin in line with your chest, or play around looking up, making sure the core is strong, looking forward, and looking down. Check in with how your neck is feeling. You can close your eyes if you want to. We'll come right back up, keeping that leg straight so the arms are reaching again. Now bending the knee, placing that left elbow on it and into side angle. Reaching long through the fingertips in the back leg, but still pressing down into that front leg. And And for today, you can keep your hand here, place it down on your block. Let's reach long if possible, or tuck your hand back behind you, and if you'd like to, look underneath that armpit. We'll bring our chin back to center, rise up, inhale, and exhale right to downward facing dog. So you want to lift your back heel, sweep it back to down dog or child's pose. We'll inhale into our striking cobra or up dog, and back to down dog, exhale. Bringing that left foot back up between the hands, heel goes down to the back, humble warrior. So let's actually rise up into our chest expansion warrior first, and then bow down. So those hands lift a little bit away from the body, and we bow down into our humble warrior. Breathe. We notice our connection into the earth. We feel the length in the neck. Appreciate your feet here. We'll be bringing our hands to frame our front foot, lifting our back heel to placing that back knee down onto the mat, tops of the foot on the mat, and rising up into a lunge with some help in our back. We're going to hold onto our low back or fists into our back. Hinge the hip down and look up. So we've got a nice big hip flexor stretch here, as well as that gentle bend throughout the back. If it feels okay for your neck, you're exposing your throat, feeling open. Wonderful. We'll bring our chin towards our chest again. Frame our front foot, tuck our back toes, push back to downward facing dog. And then bringing the right foot up between the hands, we move into our warrior one on this other side, so rising up. Here we are in our warrior one on the other side. So those hips shift towards the front. If you're taking care of that knee, you've got a short stance for your warrior one. Friday, today, Jane called it today on Facebook. Breathe. I speak my truth freely and openly. Moving into our warrior two, opening up across the heart, reaching our fingertips. You might want to adjust your feet if you want to. And then we'll look down our right palm, turn that palm up. Really reach. Think of lengthening that middle finger and light just coming out of that hand. Breathe. Our pelvic floor is strong as the core comes in to protect the spine. We'll turn that palm down, take our gaze to our back hand, turning that palm up, and again, actively reaching through it. Breathe. Closing our eyes throughout when it feels comfortable to do so. We'll bring our chin back around, straightening out our front leg. Now the palms open up, reaching that right palm forward and hinging down into your triangle on this side. Maybe you've got your block today, or you've got a shorter stance, so you can have your back up against a wall. That's a really nice way to focus on form. And by form, maybe try not to reach this back arm back. It's either reaching up or tucked back. And let's check in with our neck today. Looking up at our top hand if that feels good. We feel the reach, then we look in front, and then we can look down and feel that opposite reach across the chest. We'll rise up, keeping this leg straight for now, strong obliques. Bend that knee, bend the front elbow, place it down on the leg into our extended side angle. So we've got our reach, or our arm is tucked back behind us. And this hand could be down on a block. If if you wanted to. And if it feels okay today, look up underneath that armpit. I alone am accountable for expressing myself clearly. Let's frame our front foot as we lift our back heel, shift it back to downward facing dog. You can hold here in your downward dog, or we'll flow right into up dog or striking cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Right foot comes up between the hands, back heel down. Now our hands will come behind us. We'll open up into chest expansion warrior. And then bow down into humble warrior. We're dispersing the weight into both of our feet. Breathing. Let's release those hands to frame our front foot. Lift our back heel, drop that back knee down onto the mat. Placing our hands in our lower back, we'll rise up. So we could do fists if you prefer. You've got an imaginary beach ball. We take this hip down towards the mat and create a gentle bend here. It's like a camel arms. A nice big lunge. Oh, feels good. It's warm in here today. Warm in this little studio today, ladies. All right, shift it back. We will be meeting in child's pose and then going to puppy pose with an option to use your blocks in your puppy pose today or a bolster. Okay, so puppy pose, we are lifting our hips up off the heels now so that we line our hips on top of our knees, walking our hands forward. And if you want to today, you've got blocks underneath your elbows to rise them up so that you can drop your head kind of in between them and open up the chest. This is a nice pose for posture. I've been trying hard to get my son to do this pose every day. Oh, that's better. Let me just show you. If you're using blocks, have them like this so that your head can go in between your blocks. So great. All right, let's make our way, my friends, to a seated position. Take your time. We'll be rowing the boat today. A little different variation of our regular boat pose. Sometimes we do this in the kids' classes. Or roll the dough, I like to call the dough of your legs. All right, so we will be inhaling, reaching up, exhaling into forward fold, and then drawing the hands up the body, up into the chest, opening the chest. Reach it forward, exhale, and then drawing it forward. And you've got a little bit of a boat action, so you're leaning back a little bit so the abs catch you. Go forward, then lean back just a little bit. It might feel a little bit funny at first. That's okay. Lean it forward, rowing our boat, opening the chest, and then hinging forward. Just a few more. It's really an interesting feeling. Last one. And moving into our regular boat position here. If you would like to have your feet down, that's a great option, or a block between your thighs. You know, you guys can add that in anytime you want to. Wherever we are today, we are thinking about this length, this openness in our cervical spine, our neck. And release, you'll take your block out. We'll be moving into incline plank. So I'll show you half an incline plank first, and then you'll do half and half, and then maybe the full plank. So let's bend our left knee and bring our fingertips back behind us. Pressing into now this left foot, and you're going to try to bring that right foot down onto the mat to press through your heel as we lift up. Now I noticed my knee was a little bit in front of my toe, so I'm just going to slide that out a little bit, bring it back up so that you can make a nice strong connection. And today, if it feels okay, we're looking either up at the sky, shining our chest up, so we're anchoring still through both feet. And we'll bring it down. Switching sides, if you need to give your wrists a little rest, give them a rest. And slide that foot in. As we lift up, we're pressing that extended foot down and lifting up. So this is the half incline plank. Breathe. Choose our neck where we want it to be today. Ooh. And I have to turn the heat down in here. When you guys get in here, we won't be able to bring it down. So an option now is to go into our full incline plank or tabletop. So you've got your tabletop or full incline plank. Those feet go out and we lift. So you're trying to make a little ramp almost from your toes to the tip of your head. Breathe. Or you're in tabletop, taking care of those wrists, maybe down in bridge. Bring it down, rolling right over onto our bellies for our cobra pose with a little neck turn. So as we are moving through cobra, I want you to not only think of pressing into your hands, but you're pressing into like the tops of your feet to anchor you down into the floor. We'll bring our hands in a little bit, press down to the tops of our feet and our hips, lift up into cobra. So we're active through the legs, looking over one shoulder, looking over the other shoulder. Triceps are strong because our elbows are bent. Bring it back. We'll place our chest down onto the mat, lift up and back to child's pose. Find your breath there. So I want to make sure that we have a good amount of time for Sharon to do her Reiki with us. So let's get ourselves set up, making our way into a supported fish pose if you want to today, to kind of open up across our chest, or your regular Shavasana. Now we've done this one before, and there's a couple options. So block kind of in your spine, under the upper part of your shoulder blades, in between your shoulder blades. And we're letting, now you'd want two actually, and one would be under the head. However that would work, you have to set that up. If you have a bolster, normally, so it kind of makes a little bit of a cross sign for your fish. Or if you had a bolster, normally we have it lengthwise. For supported fish, we have it the opposite. We'll make our way in, get all set up. Maybe you want to be in just your regular Shavasana. And I will be muting myself and